Okay. Assalamu alaikum. Good evening. This is Muhammad Nasser. Okay. Let's start. Thank you for being here. Can you hear me? Let me give you some notes about Zoom. In Zoom you can okay, in Zoom it's online meeting. You can communicate with me by you can unmute your microphone and talk, or you can write in the chat. Okay. Fine. Okay, let's give like 1 more minute or a minute or 2 minutes to make all the people join. Then we can start.
فكرة حلوة والله. فكرة كويسة.
Okay, I think now we can start. Okay, welcome to the Six Sigma Yellow Belt course. This course will take let's say 1.5 hours. After this course, I can say that you can study. I'll give you the material. You can study like tomorrow and Friday, and you can take the simulator exam. I have created simulator exam. You can take this simulator exam. If you pass this exam by 70% in my exam, then you can take the international exam for free also. Then you'll be certified as Six Sigma Yellow Belt. Okay, so let's start. Let me introduce myself. My name is Muhammad Nasser. I am Egyptian. I have more than like 14 years experience in the project management. I started the journey with oil and gas field in Egypt. Then I worked in the wind energy. Then I moved to the power plants, thermal power plants. And then I moved here to Doha 2015. I work as project manager for Rifaa Metro Station, and also as project manager for Marina Yacht Club in Lusail. And finally, I was a project manager for Salwa Resort in Doha. Okay. This is from the experience point of view. From the academic point of view, I'm a mechanical engineer. I got my PMP 2015. Then I got this Six Sigma Yellow Belt, and this is a certificate that you will get it, inshallah, after we finish this course. And after this, I got my Agile certified. Okay, and then I got my Lean Six Sigma Green Belt. And let me tell you that Six Sigma is like levels. Okay, we start with the Yellow Belt, and then Green Belt, and in Green Belt you can be certified as Green Belt or certified as Lean Six Sigma Green Belt. And then after this, the third level is Black Belt. And we will discuss the difference between them today. And finally, I got my PMO, Project Management Office. Fine. I also, I work as project manager and I give some international speeches. This is my last speech in PMO Trends in December last year. Okay, and let me tell you why I am saying this introduction. Because most of us, okay, we start our life just after getting the bachelor degree and then jump into the practical life, and with the time we sink into this life. Okay, if I ask, like, if anyone asked this guy, or in the future, if in the past, if anyone asked me when was the last time you studied something, I can say, like, 10 years ago or something like this. Okay, a lot of people like this, and they feel safe because they have experience, they are in good position in their business or in their work. But the problem is, with the time, you will be in lower grade. You know why? Because the top management will say, okay, he has experience or she has experience, but there is no knowledge, there is no additional knowledge added to this guy, and then they will think to replace this guy by different one, less experience but higher knowledge. Okay, so what I need to say is, you have to keep developing yourself. You have to put for yourself target, let's say annual target. At least I have to clear these three knowledge, or if we are talking about certificate wise, I need to get this level of knowledge or these certifications. Okay, you should be in this continuous loop. Otherwise, after 5-10 years or maybe less, unfortunately, I'm afraid to say that maybe you will be replaced by someone. Okay, so you have to keep yourself updated by the knowledge related to your experience. Today, we will discuss these topics: the introduction to the Six Sigma and the tools, quality tools, and Six Sigma cycle. Okay, then I will talk about the exam preparation and my exam simulator and the final exam. Okay, let's start about some basics about Six Sigma. Okay, Six Sigma. Let's start with the evolution of Six Sigma. When the Six Sigma started, and why it's shown in the last 20 or 30 years like this. It started in the last um 2 decades, or exactly from 1980. And the main objective of Six Sigma in this time is to eliminate the defects from the processes. Okay. Then in 1990, more features added, or let's say more objectives added to the Six Sigma. So, okay, let's eliminate the defects and also let's reduce the cost of the process. And in 2000, like, it was focusing about the value of the uh, of the customer and also of the stakeholders. Let's say creating value. Okay, we apply the Six Sigma to create value, and we will understand now how. So here, Six Sigma is, like a project. And when I say project, I mean it has a start and date to achieve certain objective. Okay, and this is customer focus. So we work and we play to achieve the Six Sigma, to focus on the customer and focus on the end result. Okay, fine. Someone can say, okay, I can make normal project, no need for Six Sigma. Why I need to apply the Six Sigma exactly here? The difference between the normal project management and Six Sigma, that Six Sigma uses the statistical tools and techniques. Okay, in the project management, we have some estimation techniques and leadership techniques, but mainly in Six Sigma, they focus on the statistics, collecting data, collecting numbers, analyzing these numbers, focusing on the root causes, and then take the action. Okay, fine. Um, So the goals of the Six Sigma is to make reduction for the variations in the process, eliminate the defects, okay, improve the performance or in the yields, and enhance the customer satisfaction, and also strengthen the bottom line. And bottom line here, I means like, what is the minimum level in your company? You can feel in some companies like the minimum level is very low, like you are yani, very bad performance, okay? So when you apply the Six Sigma in your company, you raise the minimum level so that you can say the bottom line is high, like we have some methodologies, some references, that some standards that we can depend on. Okay, the approach of Six Sigma is to focus on the problem itself or to focus on the root cause of the problem. Of course, to focus on the root cause of the problem. Okay, so the problem here, which refer like y, and y is function of x. Okay, it's for the mathematics, y is the result and x is the cause. So y is function of x. So in the Six Sigma, we focus. Okay, fine, we have a problem, but where is the root cause of the problem? And then we collect data about the problem, and then we focus on the root cause of this problem, and then we attack this root cause of the problem, and then we come up with the solution. Okay. Okay, this is someone can say, okay, Six Sigma can be applied for only organizations. Okay, but can I apply the Six Sigma for me, for my life, for my family? Okay, can I do this? The answer is yes, of course. Yani Six Sigma is methodology, Six Sigma is technique, and this technique you can apply it either for your company or for your business and also for your life. When we learn the MAC cycle here in the yellow belt, and also, if you will go in more details in the green belt, you will know that you can apply the MAC cycle with the tools and techniques to enhance your life, to even be better in your daily processes, Okay, if we look at the company point of view, the companies use the Six Sigma to enhance these points. Again, to reduce the defects, the errors in the processes, to reduce the cycle time, and cycle time is the time to start and end one process, to save the cost, to reduce the cost, and to enhance your market share in the market, and to eliminate or prevent the waste. And waste here can be like material, and waste also can be process. In order to get this document approved, or in order to purchase the material, we have to get it signed in hard copy. So 10 people or 5 people should sign each paper. Long story. In the factory or in the company, we can say this is waste. And how can we work on this? We will apply Six Sigmas to study and to know where is the root cause and find alternative. And the result, we say we will eliminate the paperwork in our company, and we will make like electronic signatures. This is example of preventing the waste. Okay, we're still in, today we will understand the fundamentals. Okay. What is the mathematical interpretation of Six Sigma? Six Sigma is, it's a Greek alphabet for the word Sigma, and Six Sigma means like standard deviation. One Sigma, it means standard deviation, and the standard deviation, it means how you are deviated from the mean. Okay, and the mean here is a target. Like this. Our target to start the meeting tomorrow at 2 p.m. Okay, this is our target. This is the mean. This is the target. When I say deviation from the target, it means how many people came after 2 p.m. The meeting is at 2 p.m. How many people came after, and also how many people left the work and came at 1, So before is not good and after is no good. Fine. Okay, so this is the meaning of Six Sigma. So what are the deviations from the mean? Okay, this is the meaning of the Six Sigma. And when we have limits for each process, we should set limits like above or under. This limit is not accepted. Like in this meeting, okay, we have tomorrow meeting at 2 p.m. If someone come for 15 minutes early or 15 minutes late, no problem. For example, yeah, 15 plus or minus, no problem. But more than 15 or less, or يعني 15 more or before 2 or 15 after 2, it's a problem. Okay, like one will come 1:30, it's a problem. And one will come 2:30, it's a problem. So here, if you see this in the on the screen, you can find the upper control limit and lower control limit. And the upper control limit is like how much you are above the control limit and or under the control limit. Okay, fine. Which mean here, how many levels of sigma we have? Okay, how many levels? We have here 6 levels of the standard deviation, or let's say sigma. When I say 1 sigma, it means I have the minimum control. Okay, so 1 sigma means, okay, 1 sigma means I have very low control limits in my process. Can you see here? For, okay, 1 sigma, either it's not mentioned, like, you know, we're starting from 2 sigma. 2 sigma here means if you are producing 1 million elements, let's say 1 million balls, okay, let's assume we are like football company and producing balls. For each 1 million, if we are applying 2 sigma, it means for each 1 million of the doors, we are getting 69%, 69.1% efficiency. You know, can you imagine? Which mean from this 1 million, you have 300,000, 300 more, yeah, 308,000 out of the control or not accepted. Okay, fine. No, okay, fine. We need to enhance our Six Sigma. We need to enhance the machines. We produce better quality system. We purchase better machines. Okay, so you will move up to the 3 Sigma, and 3 Sigma means you are achieving 93% of the efficiency or of the doors. 93 are accepted, and 7% approx is not accepted, which means 66,811 doors are not accepted. Okay, and so on. So when you raise your Six Sigma level, it means you are achieving better control and you are reducing the niche of your acceptance. Okay, so here for the Six Sigma, if you can see here, Six Sigma, it means for each 1 million doors you are getting only 3.4 doors affected. Okay, which means 99.9996 efficiency. Okay, so the more Six Sigma, we can say the more Six Sigma, you reach, the better quality achievement you can apply. Okay. Okay. Of course, for the ranges, if you see this table, the second table here, for this table, okay, Six Sigma, it means starting from 0 defects. Can you see the second table? Six Sigma means starting from 0 defect into 3.4. Okay, any defects more than 3.4, it means you are 5 Sigma. واخد بالك? More than 3.4, starting from 3.4 until 233, you are 6 Sigma. Starting from 234 until 6,210, you are 4, and so on. Okay. If you have any question, please ask me. Don't let me go. Fine. Then we move to the roles of the Six Sigma organization. If you have organization, and this organization applies the Six Sigma, what are the departments, let's say, or the rules, okay? We have here, like, we start from the executive leadership, then champion, then master black belt, then black belt, then green belt, okay, and the project team and stakeholders. And some companies, they here and they put here the yellow belt, okay, in this area. But in other companies, they start directly from green belt and going up. Okay, let's see now the difference between all of them. Executive leadership. This guy is responsible for the vision of the organization in this project. Okay, so as I told you, we have company. This company produces some elements, and then they apply a certain level of Six Sigma or Sigma, let's say, and this executive leadership who assigns the vision, okay, of these projects in the organization. If you go down to the next level, you will find the champion. And the champions is who is the guy who organize and direct the initiation, deployment, and also implementation of the Six Sigma through the organization. Like executive leadership is a consultant, let's say. The champion is the, like the godfather of the Six Sigma in the organization. But again, both of them, they don't implement something by their hands, they ensure there is Six Sigma, and they ensure there's processes, and they ensure it's applied properly, and so on. If you move forward to the master black belt, okay, master black belt is the in-house expert. This is the, let's say, the internal expert, okay, inside the team or inside the organization, who selects the project and select the human resource training. Okay, we can say also it's consultant, but internally within the team. Okay, for the black belt is who is the person or group who apply the tools and techniques, knowledge of the Six Sigma. Okay, they are responsible to accomplish the task itself. But the point here, and it's very important, here they dedicated all of their time in the Six Sigma implementation. Okay, so for the black belt, they dedicated for the full time. For the black belt, they dedicated full time in their project with the Six Sigma. If you move to this green belt, they also work in the project, in the Six Sigma project, but they are doing other jobs, like they are assigned also in other department or in other categories or in other tasks while they are doing the Six Sigma work. So we can understand that it's dedicated as part-time. Okay, so for the black belt here, it's full-time, okay, and for the green belt, part-time, like I am project manager and also green belt, like this. You are doing as part of your job. For the project team, those are the remaining employees that applying the Six Sigma project under the umbrella of the green belt and the black belt. Okay. And then, stakeholders are including the customers, the other employees, either involved or not involved in the Six Sigma, the suppliers, vendors, end users, and so on. And the stakeholders means like anyone affected or being impacted by the project. Okay, in Arabic we call it like أصحاب المصلحة، يعني أي حد بيأثر أو بيتأثر بالمشروع اللي احنا شغالين عليه. So is it mandatory to have in our organization all these rules? No. The answer is no, based on your organization. Okay, I know some people in some organizations, they apply the Six Sigma alone. Can you imagine? Like there is a problem in the organization and the managers, even they don't know what is Six Sigma, you know, then those people either here or here, they took the lead and applied the process as a project and get things done. Okay, fine. Let's move to this. We can say like quality tools or the some quality control tools important for us. We start with the data, and data that's something you collect. And as I told you, the big difference between the Six Sigma and other tools and techniques is Six Sigma is statistics knowledge. Okay, collecting data, analyzing, and all of this story. So we have to know what are the types of data and how can we collect them. Here, as you can see, we have two types of data, continuous and attributes or discrete, or we can say, like digital. In the continuous data, it's measured by this physical instrument, like, the temperature, the weight, the, something you can have some numbers, weight, length, height, and so on. But if you go to the digital or attributes, are talking about, like ones or zeros, defects, number of something. Okay. And of course, do you remember we studied, most of us studied how we can convert from here to here. Okay. And this we will do it not in the yellow belt, but maybe in the green belt when we go deeply in the analysis. Okay. Fine. The next tool is the check sheet. And the objective of this check sheet is to collect data. Okay. So the objective here is to make data collection. About what? About the problem, because here we need to solve a problem. So we need to know what is the root cause of the problem, and then we need to attack this problem. But before all of this, we need to know where we are. So we start with the check sheet, like we write the defect type, all the types of defects, you write them here, delay, bad quality, blah, 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 all of them. And then you start counting how many times we have delay in our, like I will tell you, assume we have مثلا hotel, and the hotel, they have bad performance. Okay. Then we need to know where is the problem of these people are leaving. The guests are not coming to us, to our hotel. Then you make like surveys and collect data from the customers and give them like a sheet like this. What are the what is the thing you are happy? What is the thing you are not happy? Like questionnaire. And from this questionnaire, you will put this element in data sheet. How many persons selected the delays? How many persons selected that quality, and so on. Okay. We will take this data from the check sheet and put it in this histogram. And histogram that you represent the data to know the variable numbers of or the variety of these data. Okay. So histogram, like you make like this bar chart in vertical or maybe horizontal, no problem, but you do it in this way. Then you move to the next process. To understand these processes in the hotel, we should draw something called flow chart or flow map or process map. Okay. You simply you draw all the processes done through the organization or through this company or through this hotel. Okay, you collect data together, and then you collect the data from the departments, and then you define each process and you describe the stage of the process. Okay, and then you draw the process map. Okay, by using some samples like this one. As you can see here, you start the process again in the yellow belt. To understand the yellow belt and to succeed in the yellow belt, you don't need to go in details in these tools and techniques. Okay, but only it's important to know the fundamentals and to understand them. All these processes, we will take them again, inshallah, when we move to the green belt. Okay, so these are the samples. Like you do the actions in this way, the start point in this way, the flow in this way. Okay, you draw it, And in this case, we say we have the as is. And as is what we have now, the current status, okay? After you have the as is, you start finding, where is the problem? Where are the defects? And then you move to the to be, which is the future, okay? So if you can see here, like one sample, for example, of this flow chart, you draw it in this way, and then you start putting some enhancement. So either you put new processes or eliminate new processes or existed processes and so on. Okay. Of course, you know, there are a lot of softwares doing this one, like someone called Dea and Paizo, you know, a lot of tools and softwares. Again, what else? What are the other tools? Fine, we collected now all the processes and we draw the flow chart. Okay, now the flow in your mind. We collect data from the guest, we put it on the histogram, then we start drawing our flow, our as is. Okay, in order to go to the 2B, which is a solution from our point of view, we should know where are the root causes of this problem. Okay, so this is the next step, which is cause and effect diagram. Or it's important, another name called Fishbone Diagram, and this comes many times in the exam. Fishbone or Ishikawa. This is the Japanese guy who created this tool. Okay, it's very simple. You write like, you know, like this fish shape, and you write here on the head of the fish the problem itself. Okay, the problem, and then you write the causes of this problem. You analyze the different causes of this problem. Okay, like this. Let's take this example. Here we have problem. What is the problem? We have backbone from the heavy. We have backbone from the heavy school bags. Okay, fine. This is the root cause? No, no, no. This is the problem only. Okay, where is the root cause of this problem? Fine. Let's make the fishbone diagram or Ishikawa or this cause and effect. You will draw this, and then you will make, maybe because of the design of the bags. Huh? Maybe straps are not padded, lack of hip strap, you know, something in the design. Something in the design. What else? Maybe the textbook publisher, the textbook too long, heavy, you know, the books itself. Yani the problem maybe not in the bag itself, maybe in the books. What else? Maybe the school environment. The school environment. There are problems from the, you know, from the education itself. They instruct us to bring all the books. Hmm? What else? Maybe the students himself. Maybe the guy himself, it has a problem. Provide unnecessary document, or improper wearing the bag. So this is, you know, this is it's called Ishikawa. You draw the problem and you can apply it anywhere. My car is not working. Where is the problem? My computer is not working. Where is the problem? You know, like this. Then we move forward with the tools and techniques. We take back the output from this Ishikawa to the next step, which is 80-20 rule or Pareto. Okay, what is the meaning of this? Pareto is principle, and this principle you can apply it in any aspects of your life. It's famous of 80-20 rule. Let me give you an example. Okay, look at this. 80% of the money, 80% of the wealth in the life, okay, with 20% of the people. Again, 80% of the money in this life, in this world, with 20% only of the population. So this is real, and the remaining 80% of the people have 20% of the money. What else? 80% of your sales comes from 20% of your customer. 80% of your effort, or 20% of your effort, generate the 20% of your result, and so on. Okay, so I have 10 problems. The people complains from 10 problems. Okay, or let's say 20 problems in this guest in the hotel. maybe 3 or 4 problems only, giving us the most of the causes. So instead of solving all the 20 problems, and 16 of them are minors. So let's focus on the big fish, you know, like the big problems. This is 80-20 rule, and you can apply it from tomorrow morning in your work. I have 10 tasks, I have 10 activities, I have to do it. So instead of going from one, because you remember number one first, no, start from the most important. Ask yourself question. What are the most important 2 activities? If I started with them, my life will be easy in the remaining of the day, or the customer will be happy, or my top management will be happy, or the performance of my project today will be better. You know, you can apply 80-20 rule in your anything in your life. As you can see here in our example, in our hotel, we have all these complaints from the customers, from the guests. TV is no good, AC is bad, furnitures, blah, 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 blah. But as you can see here, most of the problems or most of the complaints come from the first 4 elements. Okay, it gives us the most numbers. So if you draw the numbers, like for example, for the room service, we have here like 190. This is 140 something. And then if you make the cumulative numbers, you will find from 1 until 2, can you see the 80% comes from where? From the 4 elements. خلاص, instead of paying money, you know, if you are one of the top management, yeah, instead of paying money to solve all these and consume budget all on all of these elements, no, let's eat the big 4 problems and so on. This is 80-20 A rule. Then scatter diagram, you know, you have here to understand the relationship between the variables. And again, in Six Sigma, we talk about data, collecting data, analysis, you know, statistics, you know. So here we have some relationship. Some relationship are positive correlation. Some of them are negative correlation. Okay, I'm talking about the proportional. And some of them are no relation. Okay, so just this is a scatter diagram when you draw it between the 2 variables. Okay. Okay. Then here the last one is control chart, and control chart is talking about when you have, let's assume you have to fabricate, okay, 1 million of this door. This is the height and this is the width and this is the details of the door. Okay, fine. I here will ask you a question. Okay, do you think the customer will say, I need all this 1 million doors exactly 80 inches height? Of course no. They will give us some tolerance. Okay, so this tolerance will be like this. Let's assume the customer said I needed 80 plus or minus 4 millimeters. Okay, this is the customer. Okay, fine. When you take this data and you give it to your company, your factory, okay, would you prefer to use the same tolerance for plus or minus 4, or you prefer to make it less tolerance in your factory? What do you think? Can you answer me? Would you prefer to keep it the same or you need to make it less? Of course, we need to make it less, you know, like let's say plus or minus 2. Okay, we use here plus or minus 2. Why? To make sure that all the inputs will be accepted from the customer. Okay. Anyhow, let's stop here. Let's take 10 minutes break. Okay, and then we will come back again on the second link. In the email or on your WhatsApp, you have the second link. After 10 minutes from now, let's join through it to continue our meeting, inshallah. Okay. Thank you and see you after 10 minutes. Thank you. Bye-bye.